Grand Order of Water Rats Museum is where we can exhibit our amazing collection of show business memorabilia. Tommy Cooper's fez, Stan Laurel's dress suit, Charlie Chaplin's chaps, Charlie Chaplin's cane, Little Titch's boots, Ted Ray's violin, and a veritable plethora of equally fascinating items will undoubtedly be of an interest to a wider public. You can become a friend of the Water Rats. For more information, including our history, current membership, forthcoming functions, and to download a friend's membership form, please have a look at our official website www.gowr.net. Frazer Hines is known for his years on Emmerdale Farm and Doctor Who, but did you know he had shared a scene with Charlie Chaplin? Did you know he worked as a child actor? He's a pantomime veteran and naturally funny man as we discuss his career and our time in the Grand Order of Water Rats lodges. Frazer spends a lot of time during the normal times travelling around the world to Doctor Who conventions, meeting fans of the show, and when he's not signing 10x8s and DVDs, he's on tour in the theatre or filming a scene in another movie or TV drama. It's a pleasure knowing Frazer and a pleasure chatting to him in 2020. Welcome, Frazer Hines.
Hi everybody. Hello there. Yeah, hi.
Hi, both of you, you mean? Or both my listeners?
I'm sorry. Hi, both of you. Funny, Steve, because you've been in show business on the stage. A pal of mine, Rob Duncan, I was doing a play with him, and he said, Frazer, you're not really an actor, you're more a vaudevillian. And I am. I'm more happy in the company of people like you or comedians or singers than I am in the company of other actors.
Oh.
So I do feel I'm more a vaudevillian than an actor.
Oh, that's a lovely thing to say. Do you know what? When we're sat in the Water Rats Lodge in King's Cross, we're surrounded by vaudeville, and so the photographs of like Dan Leno and Fred Russell,
Charlie Chaplin, of course,
Charlie Chaplin, Lauren Hardy. It's all vaudevillian, and I feel so much at home in the lodge. And I'm sitting next to you, and I see how happy you are because there's always these quips coming from you from the corner, ad libs, and we throw it all in. When you can't do in a Shakespeare play, but you can sit there in lodge, and we can heckle King Rat or each other, and we do, didn't we?
It's great fun. Oh yeah, I'm missing the lodges. I am missing the lodges.
Yeah, I really do.
Well, I was hoping for a lodge. There's going to be a gap between now and the next tiers. I think it's about a week. I was hoping we'd get one lodge in, at least one lodge in,
Oh, okay.
Before it all ends in tears. It all ends in tears.
it does all end in tears, doesn't it? Who knows what's around the corner? So,
No.
Well, I know there's a Tesco's actually, So, Frazer, you were a child actor, which is when I say a child actor, I mean you were in so many movies as a child. Do you remember the first time you played a part in front of an audience?
Yeah, I was a child actor because, Steve, that's a fact, TV was in its infancy when I started my career. So I did movies. Then I went to television. And funny enough, I've now come back to movies because I've got two films out. One in America called Blood Corral and one over here, Lost at Christmas. So, my career's sort of gone full. But the first time I ever actually did a play was at the Royal Court Theatre with George Devine and before she was Dame Peggy Ashcroft. It was called The Good Woman of Seth the One. And that was my first ever on stage and looking at an audience. And Peter Wingard was in that. A lot of famous actors were in that. John Osborne was in it. I had more lines than John Osborne.
Wow.
I've got the programme. I'll show it to you next time we meet up.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
Yeah, and the programme is cost sixpence. But it was the Royal Court Theatre, The Good Woman of Set to Run by Bertolt Brecht. And that was my first ever where I trod the boards, so to speak.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, as fellow Water Rats, we're all good turns, aren't we? But your first noted TV was in 1955, the year my mum was born. But it was called One Good Turn, and you were 11 years old.
Oh, yeah. That was a crowd scene. That was a Norman Wisdom film.
Oh, wow.
I didn't have any dialogue, but that was it. In fact, my first ever film was a film called John and Julie. Talking Pictures TV show it 2 or 3 times. It's about two little kids that run off to see the coronation. And again, I always say to people, I was a 484th citizen. In other words, in the crowd scene.
Yes. Oh, that sounds like a really lovely movie to watch, actually. I've not seen that.
Oh, you must watch it. It's Peter Sellers has got about 4 lines in it. You see all these famous people. You think, God, somebody must have seen something in that actor to make him a star.
Yes, in those 4 lines, they just chose him from that.
A lot of the Carry On films.
Yes.
He was about 3 lines.
Is that Sid James or Kenneth Williams?
Sid James, yes, Sid James.
Okay.
If you ever see on Talking Pictures, John and Julie, and I pretty much, I watch it, and the music is lovely. Da da dee dee, da 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 dee. I always get lump in my throat when I see it, because that was my first ever job.
That must mean so much to you. I mean, the nostalgia of Talking Pictures is brilliant. But so if people need to see your CV, just say to them, go and watch Talking Pictures. You'll see most of my movies on there, because they're showing everything, aren't they, on it?
My first ever Hammer horror, the first Hammer horror film was Extra Unknown, with the lovely Dean Jagger.
Wow.
And of course, to me, it was just because we were brought up. It was a job. You weren't really in awe of people. You didn't think, oh, gosh, this is Dean Jagger. He's just another actor. And he'd say, Frazer, can we go over the lines? Yes, certainly, Mr. Jagger. Called him Mr. Jagger, obviously. And, you would do the scene. And it was just, it was your business. And you were all in it together to make the film.
Yeah.
So one was never thought, oh, I don't know why you see some Hollywood stars, don't look at him in the eyes, don't ask him a question. Well, how can you go up to someone and say, can we just do the dialogue if you're frightened of them? It's not conducive to a good, medium. No,
of course. I mean, if you walk up to him with your eyes closed, then it's going to be weird, isn't it? I think, what's this kid doing? It's pretty amazing, because you were in so many movies when you were a child. Did you have one agent or manager that got you all these movies? Or
my Hazelman was my first ever agent, and she, in fact, we were talking about tonight to Palomite. She's the best agent I've ever had. She would ring you up once a week and say, Nana, darling, I put you up for this film. Now, I don't think you'll get it, but it's very good if you meet Alan Fernando, the casting director, because he does a lot of work with it. And I put you off a TV thing. I think you might get the television. She'd always keep you in the loop. Nowadays, agents, you never hear from them.
No, definitely this year.
Just keep you in the loop. I don't mind even if they lie to you. Or I put you up for the chase, and you're up for this, and you're up for that. It's all marvellous. You get in touch once a week just to remind you that she was marvellous. She was really, really good.
That's really nice to actually hear from your agents or your managers, isn't it? I mean, because they're working for you and they're trying to get you these parts, and surely they benefit. If they get you work, they benefit from that. So you expect an agency to work for you, but if they've got too many people on the books, and then it's, I guess you won't hear as much.
I fired an agent because a pal of mine, Mark Curry, was in the West End in Wicked, and he said, Frazer, come and see the show, because I'm leaving, he said, in 3 months' time, and I put you up for the part to take over from me. Come and see it. So I saw the show, and afterwards we had a supper, and I said, I could do this on my marvellous part, good, and it's not carrying the show, marvellous. So I told my agent to ring him up. 2 weeks later, Mark rang, Frazer, why haven't you been to the audition? I said, so I rang my agent and said, well, they didn't answer my email. I said, I told you, don't send an email, ring them. Because if you send an email, they go, look at my agent and think, oh, God, he's going to come on stage and I'm afraid. Just ring them. So don't look at Frazer and think, he'll come on stage, he'll do a tap dance, tell you a joke and sing a song. But they send emails now. Oh, terrible. The old days are gone when your agent will ring them and say, listen, I want to see Frazer. Don't worry about his agent, but he's done this and that, 3 bags full, and, you go see him. But now they send emails now. It's a lazy way. It's
very sad when the phone doesn't ring, but especially when the emails don't ping. It's nicer to have that connection with people, isn't it, and hear someone's voice.
Yes, yeah. It is.
Or even in person.
And that would have been a year in the West End money as well. I'd worked out how much, I was going to buy a second-hand Bentley, pay my tax and put some money in the bank. I'd worked it all out.
Was that this year, was it, 2020? Because we had plans this year as well, and it all went out the window, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Eyes and Teeth. Oh, that's a shame. Eyes and Teeth is about comedians and comedy actors, and the next question is about the most iconic comedy actor of all time. Now, thanks to you, I watched The King of New York just over a year ago. I had 2 reasons for this. One, I'm a Charlie Chaplin fan, and 2, you and I had a conversation about you, 12 or 13 years old, acting in a scene with the man himself.
Yeah.
And this was the last ever movie Charles would star in as a lead in 1957. Can you tell me about the moment you got the part and what happened during that scene together, which I have watched back a few times, and I love it. It's so funny.
Well, yes, I auditioned for it, obviously, with the casting director, And we all had to audition with American accents, even though I didn't have any dialogue. And I got the part, obviously, and I turned up, and Charlie Chaplin, what's your name, young man? It's Frazer Chaplin. Oh, very good. And he said, right, now I'm going to show you what you do. He said, do you know when stars were brightly shining from Tosca? I said, no, Mr. Chaplin. He said, well, what you do is you sing what you think is opera. You think, sing. He said, and he showed me. He said, now you're rolling this plate, you're picking your nose, and you're making holes for the cherries. Then you pick up the tray, and you pick up the tray. You walk over to the oven, and you go, oh, shit. Put the stuff in the oven, close it. Now, I want you to do that. So I went, la, 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 picked my nose, and I went to the oven, and I opened the oven, I went, oh, shit. And he burst out laughing, and I said, oh, what's happening? He said, no. And he was just laughing. He said, no, Frazer, he said, when I showed you what to do, an arc light had been resting against the handle of the oven, so the oven door was very hot. So it burnt my hand. I don't want you to go, oh shit, on the take. But maybe that's what's, he took a shine to me because, this little boy went, oh shit.
You didn't tell me that bit before. I love that.
And it's good. And so I got home, and my mother said, I told her all about it. And she said, right, and she opened a music school, and found, because she's an opera singer, and my dad was a singer as well, not professional, and she told me this. So next day, we're on the set, and I said, Mr. Chaplin, yes, Frazer, and I went on my knees, la, 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 ta-dum, and I started to sing it, and he smiled, oh, Frazer. Now, I'm very happy with what I saw in the rushes, but you could see he was very pleased that this little boy, me, had not gone home and, I don't know, kicked the football. He had done my homework.
Yes.
And then in the afternoon, I said, Mr. Chaplin, I've got an idea for some comedy. And instead of him clipping me round the ear and going, I've written, produced, starring, directing this film, and you, a 12-year-old kid. He said, what's your idea of comedy, Frazer? I said, you know this fur hat? If I put my cream in it, wouldn't that be funny if you put it on your head? He said, no, because I'd see the cream. However, if you make it into a cake and I sit on it, then we have a comedy. And in actual fact, if you watch that scene and he sits on it, he looks to camera, and it's almost as to say, oh, God, I've gone back to the old silent days, the slapstick silent days. And so I think I've gone very well with him. And he listened to it. That's why when I do panto, if a little kid, one of the babes says, hey, I've got a new joke, I don't say, kid, I've got enough jokes. I'll listen to that kid because Charlie Chaplin listened to a 12-year-old kid.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a beautiful story. Wow. And it's so nice that you can pass it on.
I'd love to meet his son Michael, who was in the film as well, who had quite a big part in the film. I'd love to meet him. I know he lives in America, and every time I go to Los Angeles, does anybody know where Michael Chaplin lives? Because I'd love to see, because him and I must be the few actors left alive that work with Charlie Chaplin, when you think about it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, wow.
Because I was working when you went off to his villa in Switzerland, and I couldn't make it because I was working that. I think I was doing Seriously Dead. And I was so peed off because I'd love to have gone and seen everything.
I know, I've been twice now. I took my wife and daughters, and the next year I had to take the Rats, and I didn't know if anyone would be up for it, but I know that you were very close to coming with us, but you had to pull out. But, if you do get a chance to go, then Frazer, then it's one of the most wonderful things, and it'll be nice for you to connect with Chaplin again, especially after what you've been through, You'll be signing autographs all day in the house.
And I think Burton is buried in Switzerland as well, Richard Burton.
Richard, really? James Mason is buried a few graves away from Chaplin, actually.
Oh, really? All right.
James Mason as well, yeah.
Because Richard Burton made me a cup of tea once.
No, really?
In his little caravan, he was doing Wagner, and my wife at the time was playing his wife. And we went on the set and said, Mr. Burton wants to see you. So Gemma went to the caravan and went in, and he opened the door. No, Frazer, come on in, sit down. So, you'd like a cup of tea with you? No, you're doing this farming program. I believe you're doing farming program. Is it all who are Mama said? I said, no, it's Yorkshire. Oh, yes. And he was so, he obviously, again, done his homework and said, Gemma Kramer, what's her husband? What does he do? I mean, he could have easily just said, will you wait outside? I'm going to speak to Gemma. But he invited me in this little sort of egg-shaped caravan on the set and made me a cup of tea. What a lovely man he was. And then 2 days later, Mr. Burton would like you to join him for supper. And Gemma and I, we went down to the dining room in the hotel, and we went to the huge table that was set for about 12, 15 people. And we sat down, waiting for him to arrive, and they went, excuse me, no, Mr. Burton's table's over there. And it was just Richard, the PA, and Gemma and I, just the four of us.
Wow.
He just wanted supper with with the four of us.
That's incredible.
Again, I love you. Again, world star, and what a lovely man.
Oh, conversational.
Your life has been around acting, hasn't it, for so long, and you must miss it this year. You must really miss it, Frazer, because
Yes, I really do. I mean, as I said to you earlier, I'm a vaudevillian. When I do conventions, most of the Doctor Who people, they'll go on stage and they'll do, they'll talk about the show and be serious. And when they introduce me, I go on and I've worked out a little routine, a gags, and I'll make them laugh first, and do some jokes, and then I'll sit down and do the panels. I love to
entertain as well. Yeah.
Entertain, yes, that's the word.
Brilliant.
I love to entertain people, that's what, and I love to hear the laughter. I love to hear laughter, and I love pantomime. Where you can, I always try and find something new to put in the script. So the audience think, God, that can't be in the script because it only happened today. When the last pantomime I did was I did one in Greenwich about 2 years ago, and when those drones were over the Gatwick airport, I think Aladdin had to jump in his magic carpet. I said, I'm going to fly to something. I said, well, don't go by Gatwick, because there's too many drones.
Oh, yes.
Round of applause. Because that was in today's paper, and they just take a round of applause.
Ah, brilliant. So you really work with topical. You love putting topical in, if you're allowed.
Oh, yes.
With the creative license, yeah. That's brilliant. I saw you in Panto.
I did a read-through of a Panto once, and it says Buttons comes on, Frazer comes on, brackets, topical gags, and then you go back to the show. So we did the read-through, and I came on and said, hello, everybody, and that producer, Chris, my partner, stopped. He said, Frazer, it says Buttons comes on, topical gags. You haven't done anything. I went, oh, I thought it was a tropical gag, and I don't know anything about the tropics.
That broke the ice.
He's a little bugger.
I know you were fun in Panto. I saw you with Debbie McGee in York. Well, that must have been 3 years ago.
Debbie McGee, wasn't it?
Yes. You look like you're having so much fun.
Oh, yeah, I love that. That was very Suzanne Shaw.
Yes.
Oh, she was great. She was wonderful. Because I thought, this girl's, the girl pop group, she's going to be, what's she going to be like? She has a sense of humour. And we were doing a radio show to promote the Panto. And then the DJ said, so Suzanne, you were a pop group? And I said, no, that's just hearsay. She just burst out laughing. She said, and afterwards she said, go put in the script, you've got to keep it, let's put in the script. So the Emperor, I played the Emperor, I come on and said, I've got yours, I'd be on the show. And I said, and one of the coppers said, is your daughter going to be a pop group? I said, no, it's just hearsay. Great round of applause. And she said, I loved it. And if I said in the room, tonight, I've seen something in the paper. I say this, you say that, I say this, let's do it. She loved it. She was great. I loved it to death. I really loved it. She was so much fun to work with.
Oh, that's brilliant. Really nice. And the comedian from The Chase was working with you as well, wasn't he?
Paul Siller. Yeah,
Paul,
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. He was the baddie, wasn't he, in that?
He was Abanaga, yeah. He was, that was his first panto, I think. It was his first panto.
Was it?
He said, I'll get you in The Chase, and that was from 4 years ago. I'd love to do The Chase, because I love quizzes as well.
You've done a lot of game shows, haven't you? I've seen you on a few game shows. Do you love that atmosphere of just being yourself?
I did Pointless with Bonnie Langford. She was great. We got knocked out, and by a point, 1 point, and Alexander said, God, it's the first time somebody never made it to the head-to-head, losing by 1 point.
Oh, that's close. Do you love playing yourself on these game shows? Because you're always playing actors and parts, aren't you? So
I do, yes, I do. Yeah, I like being myself. Yeah, and when I watch Celebrity Chase, so half the time, celebrity to me is somebody you recognise the name straight away. You shouldn't have to put brackets. And I mean, it'd be great because Bradley Walsh, he's a Doctor Who companion. We could talk Doctor Who.
Oh yes.
But no, I don't mind because I quick-witted and. My pals, Frazer, it's a pity they can't get you on. Have I got news for you? Because you've got a quick wit. Your brain is always looking, for a put down or comeback or whatever.
Yeah, it's nice if you've got that little skill, isn't it, where you can be there and fill the gaps if it's needed. But you've also been out to Australia with Kev Orkian. Have you done that panto in Australia?
Yes, with brother Kev Orkian with Bonnie Lithgow.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Christopher Wood, her partner. Yeah. We did panto over in Australia. It was great. It was one of a time. It was their winter, but it was in June. So in fact, that year I did 2 pantomimes, one in Australia and one in Grimsby. So
nice.
from Sydney to Grimsby, it was wonderful.
Sydney to Grimsby, yeah. The other way round is all right, isn't it? Sort of Grimsby to Sydney, but having to come back to Grimsby.
Sounds like a book, from Sydney to Grimsby.
Maybe you should write it. That's a good idea.
I've got my autobiography out, which has been out for about 6 years now, called Hindsight.
Hindsight, yes.
It's gone into paperback now, because it was in hardback, and then it's gone into paperback. It finishes, and whenever I've been working on the book that follows Hindsight, which I think Hindsight finishes when I left Emmerdale.
Okay.
And of course, so much happened since I left Emmerdale, and I've got some paper where notes I've written down and little stories. So, trouble is, I'm quite a lazy person. I mean, we've locked down all this time. You think I should have finished it by now, but...
I'm the same with my book. Yeah, there's so many different projects that we've been getting involved with, and this is one of them, this podcast.
Ukulele. I mean, I used to play the ukulele. Then you put it down, 2 years later you pick it up and go, I've forgotten it. I've forgotten all the chords. So again, whenever Steve Barclay taught me all the chords again.
Oh, yes.
So every day I should really get out. I should put the paper down. I should have a ukulele plunk around, for half an hour. I should do it every day, and by now I should be proficient in ukulele. But it's just, I think it's because it was on my own. If it was somebody in the house, there was something. Darling, are you going to come on, do your ukulele for half an hour, then I'll make you a cup of tea.
You need someone to motivate you, don't you? It's that motivation that we need. I think we've all got it. We're all reflecting in different ways this year. And you think you'd have time to finish that book or learn the ukulele or pick up Jamie the puppet and get the ventriloquist skills to scratch, but it is that time thing. And you think, yeah, I did have time, but then you didn't really, because I've been the busiest I've ever been this year, but I've not earned anything. But I've filled in that time, those gaps. It's been difficult to pick up the guitar and learn because there's other things going on.
Is it difficult to play guitar while you've got a puppet on your hand?
Yeah, well, I could try that. I think Nina Conti's done that once. She does that very well.
Who does that?
Nina Conti, but she has damaged the puppet's head.
Oh, yeah.
Eyes and teeth. You've worked with so many comedians, which I love to learn about, but you was on the Charlie Drake show in 1960. You played Nicholas Nickleby?
That's right. Oh, yeah. To be honest, and I'm not alone in this, I didn't like Charlie Drake at all.
Was he difficult to work with?
He wasn't there. The rehearsal, we rehearsed for 3 or 4 days. On the 5th day, he came down from his part, and we did, we rehearsed it. We did the scene with him, and it's now start. I don't like that. No, stop. No, don't do this. Don't do this. He's all, and so I said, well, if you'd been here at rehearsals, you'd have know what we're up to. But
all right. So he never went to rehearsals. Wow.
I wouldn't like to denigrate a fellow artist, but I'm not alone in that. I know I'm not alone.
Oh, so not the happiest of memories on that show then.
No.
Oh, controversial.
You've got some great memories from playing Jamie McCrimmon in Doctor Who. Now, is it 117 episodes, or have you done more since then?
No, I've done 117. In fact, I'm in the Guinness Book of Records, Steve, as the longest running companion in Doctor Who. Jenna Coleman did 3 years. I said, yes, but we're talking episodes. I've done more episodes than any companion. In fact, I think it's only Patrick, Tom Baker, and I think John, only 3 doctors have done more Doctor Who's than me.
Oh, that's incredible. You even beat the Daleks. Probably.
Oh, definitely. I beat the Daleks and the Cybermen. Yeah. He was a lovely, lovable character, and people loved him because, we could do... Patrick and I were great working. We worked together. Patrick was wonderful to work for. It was really... If you have an idea for something, you didn't go, no, I'm the doctor. You just stick to your lines. Just stick to the script. He would go, oh, Fraser's got an idea. Fraser's got an idea. Oh, listen to this. Or we were great practical jokers as well. And even on the take, he would add something. In the Tomb of the Cybermen, there's a famous scene where we're outside this huge Cybermen's rock cave, and we go to take Victoria, Deborah Watson's hand, and on the take, he winked at me, and we took each other's hands, and we came over Victoria, and then we looked at each other, and then we went back to, and we didn't tell her, and after she said, I thought, what are the boys doing? What, they're supposed to take my hand. And of course, the director was furious, and that's why we didn't actually say, can we put it in, because we knew he'd say no. But the producer said, no, this is just what we needed. It was so much, we had tension. When they wrote it, we just needed a little bit of,
a little
comedy.
release, yeah.
Comic relief. So,
humour.
No, Patrick was a wonderful man to work for.
Oh, that's nice. Did you get to work with John Pertwee as Doctor Who?
No, I only met him at conventions, John. It was all right. It was fine.
Yeah, he's a fellow water out, wasn't he?
Yes, he was, yes. Who's the other day I saw somebody, I was very pleased, saw a photograph, and they're wearing the emblem. I said, good for you. Who was it? It was a photograph of somebody. Did you see Ray Martin? Did you see Ray Martin on the Window Girls show?
No.
Yes, it was on, I think it was on Channel 4 or 5. It was called The Windmill Girls, and it was all about interviewing these ladies who used to be windmill girls. Dick Emery's son was there, and Ray Martin, he was there talking about working in the wind. No, it's great. You might try and catch up. See if you can
If that's on 4 or 5, you can catch up on that. I'll have a little look. So,
yes, yeah, because I said to him, actually, I said, because I've got this sort of TV time, I said, you're on next Thursday. He said, oh, thanks for reminding me, yeah.
Oh, that's nice. And even today, you travel to Doctor Who conventions around the world because of Jamie. Are your fans older, or do you find that you've got new fans now that are starting to watch the earlier episodes?
I get lots of little kids coming up, the 12-year-old kids.
Oh, amazing.
And I said, obviously, my dad, the father always stood behind me. My dad got me watching it, and they love it. I said, they love the black and white, because black and white is scary than colour. I always said black and white is far more frightening than colour.
Really?
The fans, 10 or 12-year-old fans, and...
That's amazing that it's passing down to the generations.
Lots of fans dress up as Jamie, and as the Doctor, Zoe, a cosplay, which I'm so pleased about.
Oh, that's amazing. You really must get to know your fans as well. Do a lot of them repeat, so they come back time after time?
There's loads. There's Chad, I should be in Chicago now. Chicago TARDIS. I did a Zoom chat and said, certain people you see, hiya, Chad. Oh, it's Bonnie Humpleby. Yeah, hiya. There's so many people you recognise now. I get invited back to the same convention year in, year out. I do Gallifrey, Chicago TARDIS, Long Island Iced Tea. I call it Long Island Iced Tea. It's Long Island convention. Because they say, Frazer's good fun. Frazer's fun. You've got to have him back. It's good fun. Germany, I did Germany 2 years ago. I should have been in Germany this year as well.
Wow. And do you still get your legs out? Because you were voted the best legs, weren't you? And
Yeah. The sexiest leg. Women's Own magazine voted me the sexiest legs on television. And my girlfriend at the time, Lisa Goddard, came second, and she was furious.
Lisa Goddard, bless her. I remember her in Woof. Do you remember that?
Oh, yes, Wolf, yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And her husband is no longer with her. He is lovely, David Cobham, who's a lovely man. He got me into, I think, called Out of Sight, which is a TV show.
Okay.
About some boy who was invisible at school. And he got me to play the baddie, a couple of episodes, Mr. Sykes, one of the teachers. That was great fun to do. He was a lovely guy. It's good to do. It's good to be a villain now and again as well.
Do you like playing the villain? You don't mind that?
2 or 3 villains. In fact, I played a real live villain. I really like murderer Michael Kite for Expert Witness. Yeah, I still prefer comedy. If I was given a choice to play, which I've done it, Run for Your Wife or King Lear, I'd comedy all the time.
Really? You go for Run for Your Wife?
Well, as you know, because you do comedy as well. If you've done well with a serious play, you can come in the wings. Oh, I had them by the palm of the hand. It was really wonderful. But with a comedy, if you're not laughing, you've failed somehow. So a comedy, the audience will tell you, even if they like it or not.
It's that instant recognition, isn't it? Obviously, laughter is what we crave. Yeah.
In fact, I was doing a very serious play. I was playing the inspector in Agatha Christie, and halfway through, I'm about to question somebody, and the company manager came on and said, everybody off stage, there's a fire somewhere in the theatre. So we went to the wings, and the fire brigade came and checked, and there's no fire. So he said, go back on stage. I went, what do you mean, go back on stage? I said, I can't just bring this back on. No. So I went on with the other actors, and I just turned to the audience, ladies and gentlemen, you're quite safe now. I'm going to tell you who this murderer is if he kills me. And he got a round of applause. And the director rang me later on and said, I'm going to give you a bollocking because you're making fun. No, I know audiences. And they sat in their chairs for about 15, 20 minutes, wondering if they were going to be burnt to death in an explosion. I just went on and relaxed them. And, I see, yeah.
Lighten the mood, yeah, because I was doing a holiday park. When we went back after the first lockdown, I'd done a Warner's holiday park. And this is my first gig back after 4 or 5 months off. And then I'm just about to go on. 10 minutes before I walk on, I'm all set up. The fire alarm goes off. And so the whole venue is cleared out. We all go into the car park. The band, all the chefs, the bar staff, everyone's wearing masks. 200 people, in the audience. And then 15 minutes later, we all go back in. And then they introduce me and I go on. And you can't not acknowledge what has just happened. So I done about three fire alarm jokes within the first 2 minutes, and they loved it. It was a really nice break in the ice with that audience, Yeah. So you have to know that when you're in that situation, if you can use comedy, then you should. But that it wouldn't jeopardise the script because it was just getting back into it, wasn't it?
Well, I did in Panther. The fire alarm went off halfway through. Paul Cheney's doing his opening bit, and so we went to the car park, and the girl playing Beauty and giving this. Was having a cigarette. I said, "Don't have a cigarette. Look, the audience are there." So she put the cigarette out, and we went back in. And I said to Paul, "Look, Paul, you've done your bit. I'll go straight on now." So I went and said, "Hello, boys and girls. Hello, everybody. Have you seen Beauty?" And they went, "No." I went, "You little liars. You've just seen her in the car park having a fag with a fireman." Round of applause. Round of applause. And you've just got to do it. It's not in the script, but it just breaks the ice.
No, definitely. It's much needed, isn't it?
And I love it when things happen. I always say in Panther, if somebody comes in late, don't have them at the back. Let them come down. If I'm doing my opening spot, let them come in and find their seats. Because I love it, because I'll then do a précis of the show. Oh, you listen, what happened now is Cinderella came on, she sang the song, la la la, and then the dancers came on, they twirled around, they showed their pants, and then Baron came on, everybody, and I do a quick sort of précis of the Panther, and they love it.
Do you think there's a frustrated comedian in there? Because you could be a stand-up comedian, because you've got the skills and you've got all the jokes as well.
I've done stand-up actually in America at a Doctor Who convention, which is, you're quite lucky because the fans are on your side anyway.
Yeah.
I've got DVDs somewhere. I think I do about 40 minutes.
Wow.
And then I do a routine which I made up with one of the guys there who was a pianist. I did this little routine that I can only do with another pianist, with a pianist. And I did about 40, and I loved it. And I thought, oh, Frazer, when I see Live at the Apollo, I'm going there, either my sense of humour is gone.
Yeah, no.
Do you ever see Live at the Apollo? And really?
Yeah, it's not your sense of humour that's gone. No, don't worry. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame. But you've got 40 minutes there, and some comedians, they've only got 20 minutes, and they do the circuit. But you've already got 40 that works, because you've tried it out and tested it. But that's what I mean. I'm really impressed that you could stand there and do 40 minutes, and you've got the audience on your side because they're fans of your show and your work. So that's amazing. If you already know you've got the audience, then it's a surefire winner, isn't it?
Yeah, yes. I mean, I've got a couple of routines you start off with, and then deviate to something else, and you bring another routine. I think one of the best comedians I love is our King Rat, Dougie Brown.
Oh, Dougie's brilliant. One-liners, and yeah, he's great, isn't he? Great storyteller as well.
And he can spread one joke out into 10 minutes. He is marvellous.
He's a master at his craft, and I know we've missed him this year, but we do get the blessings, really, of sitting with him all of next year through the 2021 as King Rat, which would be nice, because even as King Rat, he still entertains us. You kind of just got to do the job when you're in that main chair, but he's very funny. He keeps our morale up, doesn't he? So
he does. He doesn't mind if an actor cracks a joke.
Yes, yeah.
Mind, some people, as I say, they don't like it.
Your part in Emmerdale Farm, now playing Joe Sugden. Now, I grew up watching you, so I was delighted when I got to sit next to you in Lodge, because my childhood was watching Emmerdale with my parents and watching Coronation Street. You was in that as well before Emmerdale, weren't you?
I was the first vegetarian, I think, on television in Coronation Street.
Really? There's another Guinness Book of Records.
Annie Walker laid out this big sort of spread. Now then, Roger Love, some nice ham and that's a bit of beef. I said, I'm sorry, Mrs. sidewalk. I can't eat that. I'm a vegetarian. And I must have been the first vegetarian ever on TV.
Wow, that's quite early to hear that. So that must have been the 80s. Was it the 80s?
1963.
Oh, you're kidding? Wow. That is early, isn't it, to hear that?
It wasn't black and white, it was in sepia.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little bit disappointed, right? Like Opal Fruits, they're now Starburst. Marathon are now Snickers. What was it like when Emmerdale Farm changed into Emmerdale? They took away the farm. Did they take away all the animals, or was it just the name that changed?
No, they just took the name. They kept the animals because there was a lot. Freddie Pine and me, we still had to milk cows and shear sheep. It's a real working farm when we got there.
Oh, was it really?
Oh yeah, and the thing is, it just said Matt and Joe are working because whenever we turned up, whatever the farmer was doing, we had to do. We could never stop him working. We could never say, well, we want to cut signage today if he was actually dipping sheep. So we had to alter our dialogue if you want to work in with the dipping of sheep or cutting signage or driving tractors.
Oh, fantastic. So you really... My grandfather, Jack, and my dad, Terry, were farmers, and I was 1 year old when we left the farm, so I never really grew up on the farm, but it's in my blood. And so but you actually got to learn from real farmers to do the part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to love driving a combine harvester. That was marvellous.
Yeah.
With the dark glasses and up here. I've got a great picture of me and Clive Hornby, on this combine, We used to love that because we were allowed to wear dark glasses because it was sunny days in the summer.
Oh, nice.
So we used to love all that.
He was a lovely guy. He seemed to be really nice, Jack Sugden, wasn't he? That was Clive.
Brothers. We'd argue sometimes. And
yeah.
We were best pals and we had supper and drinks together. But, we just like real brothers. You argue sometimes and other times you don't.
Yeah, so from 72 to 94 you were there. That makes you a real household name, doesn't it? And familiar face.
And household name, like Harpic. That's a household name as well. But no, I was 72 to about 81. Then I got married to Marinade. My first one, I call her Marinade because she left me overnight. So I did that and I left. And then we got divorced. And then I went back and did another 6 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so there was over 1,000 episodes you were in.
God, where did all the money go? Oh, my ex-wife. Yeah, she got it.
Oh, bless you. I remember those great characters, and to me, they really made me laugh. There was Seth, and there was Mr. Wilkes and Amos. They were great, proper characters, weren't they, on the set?
Yeah, they were lovely characters. They're nice people as well. Stan Richards was a comedian, a northern comedian, so him and I would always be doing jokes. Have you got the latest joke, Frazer? I said, what's the latest joke, Stan? Stan Richards. And, of course, Richard Thorpe played he was in the Military War 10. We were in War 10 all those years ago. Again, that was live television. Military War 10.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
So, he played Alan Turner.
Alan Turner, yes. I saw you and Alan on that Noel's House Party recently on YouTube. And Noel calls you the hero of Emmerdale. But that looked like you're having really good fun with Alan Turner.
Yeah, we did that two or three times at Noel's House Party. I did it with Madeline Howard, who played Sarah. We had to sing It's Cool for Cat. I think It's Cool for Cat.
Yes.
We had to sing. People had to guess our voices. So it was me, I think, Fanula, Richard Thorpe, Madeline Howard. That was. It was a quiz show on Noel's House Party. That was good fun to do. And he was a nice Noel. He was a nice chap. Lovely guy.
Yeah, it's really funny part. It looked like you're really having a good time on there. And again, it gets to see you, Frazer, as himself, which is quite nice. And do you like chat shows? I saw you on Wogan, and Wogan calls you're too good looking.
Yeah, that Wogan show. You could see with Terry, the first couple of minutes, 4 minutes or whatever, you could see him, he thought he was going to come on and interview a soap opera actor.
Yes.
And then I did a couple of one-liners, and you could see him thinking, what would he say there? And then he realised, and then when I did one of the old gags about opening the door in a nightdress, he just turned to the producer, where do we find this guy? And then he lightened up, and he just loved it. But yeah, I've got that, and I often watch it because I thought, look at that lovely dark hair, thin, that was good. But as I say, the first couple of minutes, he was just starting to so he's in Emmerdale. What's the cow like? What's the mother like? How's she? But, I was sort of deviating and doing sort of one-liners, and eventually sort of realised that,
Yes,
this guy's quite
some
funny.
some guests can be predictable, can't they? But I guess you've got that vaudevillian, like you say, around you, and he wasn't expecting the gags. But it's a nice natural thing that you have, which is very refreshing as well. I was thinking of getting new dummies. I was always thinking about getting a dummy that the sci-fi world would love, like Doctor Who, Star Wars, and Star Trek. A friendly dummy, because I think it'll work well.
What about Cyberman?
Yeah.
The Dalek would be difficult because the Dalek, it would be hanging up the arm, but a silver Cyberman would be quite funny.
Yeah. Because I think the fan base wise, it's quite vast, isn't it? So I was going to ask you, what would you recommend? So if you think Cyberman, or it may have to be something original where I can cross all of those genres of Star Wars, Star Trek, and Doctor Who. It'd have to be a baddie, maybe a baddie.
Oh, the Master. That's another one. The Master, everybody knows from Doctor Who. That's played originally by Roger Delgado, and he's all in black with a little sort of beard and this sort of black goatee beard and a moustache and a swept back Dracula haircut.
Okay.
With the widow's peak. The Master, he'd be another one. He'd be very like Ahmed the Terrorist.
Oh yeah, Jeff Dunham.
Yeah, well, it'd be almost, the Master could be like, the terrorist, I kill you now.
Yes, a spoof version. He's great. Yeah, he's just about to release 3 brand new specials on Comedy Central. So if you can get Comedy Central, you'd seen Jeff Dunham's brand new one, which he's filmed in the lockdown, I believe. So
right.
yeah, he's very funny. He's one of the most famous, most successful ventriloquists of all time, Jeff Dunham. So.
But I'd suggest either a Cyberman would be quite funny. Little slitty mouth, or the Master.
Yeah, I'll look into that. Thanks for that. I definitely think there's an audience, for conventions especially. But
Yes.
I'm looking for new avenues, like we all are at this time. Obviously, you get to see YouTube and everything and Netflix, but I've obviously looked at a lot of your work over the last couple of days, and I saw the Panto story. I don't even know how I missed this, because John Bishop's in it, Darren Day, Sheridan Smith, Chesney Hawkes, and yourself, and it looks like a very Ricky Gervais office-type docu-soap behind the scenes of pantomime.
We did it with me and Nick Newbold and John Bishop. In fact, John Bishop wasn't even on the poster.
No?
No, there was Darren Day, me, Nick, and Steph, Darren Day's lady wife. But John Bishop, he was just starting out in the business. He wasn't even on the poster.
Oh, wow.
And halfway through, and we'd go and watch him, he'd be doubling up. So the Colonel would come down, we'd all dash to see him working in a sort of working men's club or a little tiny 200-seater or 100-seater. So we support him there. And then he did this docudrama backstage thing, which we all, he said, "So you come and do a joke with me, and we'll do that." And we did that. And then when it became a TV series, the little bug, it never had me or Nick in it. Never had Sheridan Smith and other people. So we were a bit sort of put out by that, because we'd helped him in the inauguration of getting the idea together. Yeah,
so was that a pilot? Is that a pilot, what we can see on YouTube? Is that what that was, or?
Yeah, that was just kind of not the one with Sheridan Smith. That was the one that went out.
Okay.
But the pilot was with me and Nick, Nick, and the girl that played the cat.
Yes.
And Jamie, the guy called Jamie, who played the dame.
Yeah.
That was kind of the pilot.
Okay.
He took to show TV things, but as I say, never uses in it. But that was good fun. Yeah,
it was brilliant. I love the gag where you walked in and just you give John Bishop a gag about animals, and I love the way you explained it. Walked in and walked out again. This is a show that would work now. It's such a great.
The funny was how that gag came about. He did this routine as the captain. We told these jokes, and then he did my gag one night, and it went down like a lead balloon. And he looked into the wing, because I'm watching. He said, "Thanks, Frazer, for that." So over a bit after, I said, "John, you told it wrong. You should. I'm telling it to me." I said, "You do it like this, X, Y, and Z. That's how you get the laugh." So the next night he did it, got a huge laugh. And he looked into the wings with his thumbs up. "Hey, you're right there."
Nice one, nice. I hope you're in his biography.
He's forgotten the 30 Bob days. He was never there. He's forgotten. See, a lot of people in our business, I always say they forgot the 30 Bob days. And people say, "What do you mean?" There was a time we all earned 30 Bob.
Yeah.
That's it. We own that. And then we become millionaires. But you must always remember, Steve, the 30 Bob days.
Yes.
We all started somewhere.
Definitely, yeah. Oh, so you think John's forgotten the 30 Bob days?
I think John's forgotten the 30 Bob days, yeah.
That's a shame. We'll have to check his biography. You should be in it. If not, then he's forgot the 30 Bob days.
Yes. Have you got a biography out?
He has, yeah. It's I don't think I've not read it yet, so it's.
What's it called? Do you know?
I'll find out for you after this. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Whereas I always find it in the early days. I found it difficult to understand John Bishop's accent, and then I thought I'll give his biography a go, and then I couldn't read his writing. You can have that. In these times, Frazer, it's very confusing and scary and worrying, but especially for our business. But do you wish that the TARDIS was actually real and it could take you anywhere? Where would you want it to take you right now if you could go inside?
I think it takes me. I think I'd like to go back to 1967. Great happy days doing Doctor Who, finishing the studio, go down to a nightclub, dancing around, girls in miniskirts and blonde hair flowing around, and I go back to the 60s.
Oh, nice! The 60s are the place to be. I'm gutted I missed it. I was born in the 70s, so
60s are great. People say, "Oh, if you can remember the 60s, you weren't there." No, I remember every month of the 60s, every day of the 60s.
And you enjoyed it.
Great fun.
Oh.
Great fun.
Oh, amazing. And what's your prized possession that you own? Memorabilia from a show, panto, or film, or even a memory you can't remember?
There's a bronze jockey I called John Reed because that was the name of the jockey. I had a horse called Escapism. He won a big race for me, and he's on my mantelpiece now. I guess that's, off the top of my head, that's probably one bit of memorabilia that I like. But out of showbiz, I got rid of a lot of my Doctor Who memorabilia. Really, I'm so annoyed I had this wooden Yeti that I threw away in the end because I just carried all this memorabilia around with me. And Deborah Watting had one, and she sold hers for £8,000. So,
wow.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I've got a cricket bat signed by the whole of the South African cricket team in 1994 when they came out of apartheid.
Oh, wow.
I was the skipper of the Emmerdale team, and we played the South Africans, and Hansie Cronje, who died in suspicious circumstances, gave me this bat signed, and our producers said, "Oh, good, I'll put that in the production office." And Hansie said, no, this is for Frazer because he was the skipper. He changed all the bowling, and he got the batting, and he won the game for you. No, this has nothing to do with acting. It's because of Frazer's sport. And so I've got this bat. It's probably worth a lot of money because it's Hansie Cronje and Pollock and people like that.
Oh, nice. Wow. That's a memory.
People have come to my house and said, "Frazer, you wouldn't think you're an actor because there's sporting memorabilia, there's horses hanging up on your, photos, horses and stuff. There's no picture of you actually acting." In fact,
and are you sporty? Were you into any sports at all?
yes, I used to be a jockey. I rode as a jockey for about 10 years, rode a couple of winners in quite a few places.
Okay.
And I was a very good cricketer. I was a very good spin bowler. In fact, I played at the Adelaide Oval in Australia, the Golden Oldies. We did a tour of Australia, and that's what I miss because I got a rotator cuff. I wore my shoulder away playing cricket. If I was a bad cricketer, I wouldn't mind, Steve. I think, I was never good at it, but
yeah.
I was a good spin bowler. I got some really top-notch batsmen out with my spin and my guile. And that's what I miss.
Wow, that's why the cricket bat means so much to you. But you talk about being a jockey as well, and I've read some biographies where people lie about what they can actually do, and you need to be able to ride a horse to get this part. Have you ridden a horse? And you just tick yes, but you haven't. So have you ever lied to get into a part at all?
Yes, I lied to you.
A little white lie, of course.
A little white lie. They said, "Can you fly fish?" I said, "Oh, fly fishing, yes, I do every Saturday." Yeah, well, that was what was that?
J.R. Hartley.
Yeah, J.R. Hartley. Yeah. Oh yeah, I did an audition years ago for the film. I did a BBC playing a farmer's son, and I went to this. My agent got me an audition in my lunch hour, and I walked in and they went, "Oh no, you don't look like a gang leader." I said, no, this is wardrobe. Look, this tweet, it says BBC wardrobe. No, you don't look like a gang leader. So I told my agent, and about 2 weeks later, "Oh, darling, they haven't found that character to play so-and-so yet. Listen, go next time and dress as the part." So I a black leather jacket, I had cowboy boots, tight jeans, slicked my hair back. And I'd lost the part once, so nothing to lose. So I walked in to the casting director. I said, "Now then, John," put my boots on his table. I pulled out a flick knife and started cleaning my nails. "What's this about?" And they went, "That's him. That's Tony. That's the gang leader." And I got the part.
That's amazing. You turned it round. Oh, I love that. Oh, congratulations. That's good. I'm happy you got the part. It's a nice ending to the stories.
Yeah, well, again, there's something on YouTube. Go Kart Go is a film I made for Children's Film Foundation with Dennis Waterman, a very young Dennis Waterman.
Oh, yes.
And I played Harry Haggerty, a baddie in that, all about go-karts. So if you catch that on YouTube, I think it's on YouTube, somebody showed me the other day, Go Kart Go.
And I'll make a note of that. I have to watch that. I'll watch that with my nephews. They'll like that.
and then I put something on my Facebook wall. Somebody found a clip from a film series I did with Jeremy Bullock called The Young Jacobites, and there's a very young Francesca Annis and me and Jeremy Bullock. And it's on my Facebook wall. It's called The Young Jacobites. It's about a 4 or 5 minute clip, and we shot that on the island of Skye.
Oh,
when I was about 15 years old.
That's incredible. Oh, you've got some fantastic memories there, and I can't wait to see you again in the lodge at the Water Rats. It's what we need again to refresh it. But we mainly, me and you, we just need to get back to stage, don't we? Back to the
we've got to get back to
stage door, because that's what it means. Yeah. Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for your time, Frazer. It's great to catch up with you. I love all those stories. They were just incredible.
I love your lovely wife.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Has she got a sister or a brother she's not sure of?
Yeah, both. Yeah, you can have them both. I'll send them up on a train.
You're the sister, not the brother.
Actually, mother-in-law actually might be around.
The old gang. It's so long since I've had sex, I've forgotten who gets tied up.
Oh, yeah. Definitely my mother-in-law there. I remember. Yeah. Thank you so much, Frazer. Thank you.
God bless. See ya.
Bye.
Eyes and Teeth.
Thanks to Frazer for joining me today on Eyes and Teeth. Fascinating anecdotes from a talented man. If you'd like to know more on Frazer's whereabouts, well, he's at home. But when lockdowns are a thing of the past, then you can find him at www.frazerhines.co.uk. That's where you can also purchase his autobiography, Hines Site. That's Hines, it's a play on words, see? Hines Site, which is now available to enjoy on audio. Check out the website for details where you can buy more of Frazer's memorabilia. This week's Water Rat and Comedy quote comes from Frazer's acting partner, Sir Charles Chaplin. My pain may be the reason for somebody's laugh, but my laugh must never be the reason for somebody's pain. Eyes and Teeth is written, produced and hosted by Steve Hewlett. Vocals by Lola, Nina and Larissa Hewlett. Additional vocals by Rich T. Thank you to Kevin Dean for producing and performing the Eyes and Teeth jingle and theme tunes. If you've enjoyed these podcasts, then please share with your family and friends, ask them to download on Apple Podcasts or others, and please review them. If it does get more reviews, I promise to keep going until I get to 100 editions and bring you more and more illustrious careers and funny people. I promise you that every edition will be interesting and funny, and I will go out with a bang on episode 100. I know that because I recorded it a few days ago. Tune in next time on Eyes and Teeth, The Water Rats, when I talk to the West End's one and only Mr. Derek Martin.